Hi, I'm finally happy to announce that the final version of my Boom and Crash Export Advisor is now available for download. So in this video, I'm going to explain to you how it works and how you can install it and how you can set it up. So the first question is, how does it work? So I already wrote a post about it on how it works, so I will include the link in the video description and you can read it at your own time and find out how it works and why I created it and so on. So for now, I'm going to skip this. Okay, so I'm going to come to the folder structure. So when you download this Boom and Crash Expert Advisor, you're going to have something like this. Okay, so you're going to have something like this. When you download it, it's going to have three folders. The first folder is the Export Advisor, the second folder is the Include, and the last folder is the Indicator. Okay, so this Export Advisor relies or depends on the cursor spike detector. So I already mentioned everything on how it works, what it does in this post. So just for you to know that it relies on the cursor spike detector. So now, how do you install the indicator? So the first thing we're going to start with is installing the indicator. So to install the indicator, go into there. Okay, so this is the spike detector. So make sure that you open up your deriv or binary MetaTrader 5. So once you open it, simply click on File, then click on Open Data Folder. Okay, and minimize the MetaTrader. So now you are going to have two folders. One is the folder having what you've just downloaded, and the other one having the MetaTrader files. So let's start with the indicator. So I'm going to go into the indicator and I am going to copy it. Then I'm going to go into MQL5 and I'm going to click on Indicators, and I'm just going to paste it just here. Okay, so we are done now with the indicator. Let's now try to add the indicator to our chart. So I'm going to open up my MetaTrader and I'm going to click on the plus icon to list down all the indicators I have. Then I'm going to refresh so that it can bring up the recently added indicators. So let me open up one chart. So I'm going to click and hold and drag it here, and I'm going to simply click OK. Okay, so yeah, so this is the cursor spike detector indicator. So this is how it actually looks like. So we are done with the first step of installing and applying the indicator. Let's now go back to other files. So the second step is to add the include file. Okay, so the include file is going to be help you like in activating your export advisor. So simply go back into the root folder and click on MQL5 again and go into the includes folder, which is this one. Then scroll down and paste it. So as for me, I already have it here, so let me delete this existing one. Okay, then I am going to paste it in here. Okay, the next I'm going to go back. I'm going to go into the export advisor and copy now the export advisor itself. Then here I have to go back again into the root folder and click again on MQL5, then go into export and simply paste it just there. Let's now go back to the chart again. So right now all you have to do is minimize this, then now click on export advisors, then right click on it and refresh, then it will load up. Simply click and hold and drag it to the chart. Okay, remember to take this to allow algo trading shortcuts for algorithm make trading. Okay, so this is now the configuration part or the setup part. So we are done with installing the include file, we are done with indicator, we are done with the export advisor. Now it's time to how to configure the export advisor. So one thing I like about my export advisor is that you are in control of how much money it makes, and you are in control of how much money you lose. So if you happen to lose your money, that's not the expert advisor's fault, it's your fault for not really configuring it well. So let me just explain again on that. So the first thing you're going to see, of course, is the license code. So since this is a free trial, you will not be required to enter any license code. You simply have to click on OK, then that's it. So lot size, so depending on how much money you have in your account, okay, you can increase the lot size to your own desired amount. Okay, risk amount, so risk amount is in okay, so risk amount, there is two: risk amount and risk percentage. Okay, so risk amount, for example, if you go in negatives, let's say you go in negatives in 20, okay, it will close the trade automatically so that you don't lose more funds. Then when it comes to risk percentage, when the expert advisor opens up a trade, when it loses or goes into negatives by -2, like 2% of your funds, then it's going to close the transaction. The minimum profit, okay, so when the expert advisor makes $2, it will close the order or the trade. If you set a higher amount per trade, if it makes $5 per trade, it will close automatically. So let's try to let me try to explain more on this. Okay, so let's say you have deposited $100. Okay, start with $100, and the risk percent you've set up is 2%, and the risk amount, let's say, is $20. Okay, so now what is 2% of $100? Okay, so 2% of $100 is $2. So if you go in negatives, like you should make like -2, the expert advisor is going to close the trade. And again, if it has gone in negatives by -20, okay, it's also going to close the order or the trade. And again, if the expert advisor makes like $5 profit, it will close. So you are in control of what happens when something happens. So now you might be asking, what are the recommended inputs to put there? Okay, so here are my recommended inputs. So for accounts with less than $50, you should use the following. So use a lot size of 0.20, only risk 1% of the amount you have. Minimum profit, also use $1. Then for the risk amount, okay, for risk amount you have to set it higher than the risk percentage. So risk amount, let me just write it down. Okay, since you have $50, so we do not want to risk more than half of that. So you are free to change this to, so if this condition, the first one, is not met, then this one will meet. If this one meets first, this one will meet later. So depends. Okay, so with a lot size of 0.20 with a 1% risk amount $25, and minimum profit $1. So this is my recommended configuration. So here is one thing you have to know, is that I have tested my expert advisor and it works well with accounts having more than $1,000. Okay, So when you use a risk percentage of 1%, you're actually decreasing your chances of making more profits, because when it comes to boom and crash, before you can what's this before you can go into profits, you actually have to go through negatives. So for example, when you place a trade while you're waiting for the spike to spike up, you might be maybe -6. Then when a spike comes in, you find yourself you are in +10, which is like $10 profit. So when you're using like 1% risk, so which means like since you started with $50, this means that 1% of $50 is okay. So 1% of $50 is $0.5. So which means that whenever you make a lot of 0.5, the expert advisor will close the trade. So by the time the expert advisor is closing the trade, maybe the spike would have not yet happened. Okay, so just for you to know is that this expert advisor uses the Casa spike detector, and it can both trade waiting for spikes and against spikes. So that's the advantage. So if you really want to make money with it, I really encourage like trying out with money more than 1,000. Okay, so don't have to worry about losing the money, because it's going to really blow your account as long as you use the right lot size, risk, and minimum profit. So one thing you should know that when you're setting up these things, be realistic. For example, don't deposit, like let's say for example deposit a $10 and you use a lot size of, let's say you use a lot size of 1, then you use the risk of 10%, you use a risk amount of bigger than this, and you expect the expert advisor to triple your money within an hour. Yes, this is possible, but it's also very risky, because okay, it's also very risky that it might end up blowing your account if you're very greedy. So my advice is that this trial version is free, you're not paying anything to use it. So start with a demo account. Okay, I already made a video about the best way to practice in a demo account, so watch this video to the end to know how you can practice better. So practice better, try different lot size, try different risks, try different risk amount, try different minimum profits, and see which one works better for you. As for me, I've already tested this expert advisor and it works well, but this is what everyone does. Everyone makes their own indicators, expert advisors, and they post how much money it makes, but when you buy, it never delivers the same results. So this is why I've decided to offer it for download, so that you can test it on your own and see if it really works for yourself. So okay, I've talked about how to configure the expert advisor. So now let's talk about how to enable it and how to see if the expert advisor is running. So now this is a demo account. It has got 9,000 plus $, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to choose a license, let's say 1. I'm going to choose the lot size of 1, risk amount. The highest amount I would like to risk is just, let me say let's say 3,000. That's the highest. No, this is just too much. Let's say $300. Yeah. Then the risk per trade, I would like to risk about 2%. So 2% of $10,000 is about $200. Okay, so before it can lose about $200, it would have been in profit already. Okay, since I'm using a larger lot size here, and so the minimum profit I would like is let's say $10. When it makes $10 per trade, it will be closing automatically, and I'm going to click on OK. So the license, this is a trial, don't have to enter anything, just leave it the way it is and click on OK. Okay, so now we have added the indicator and we have added the expert advisor. So now all you have to do now is simply click on the journal and click on the algo trading, and you're going to see that automated trading is enabled. So this is how you know that the the export advisor is running. So to stop it from running again, simply click on this and check your journal. It will tell you that the automated trading is disabled. Okay, so now let me just summarize on what I have said. This is my export advisor called Keith's Boom and Crash Export Advisor, and for it to work, it relies on the Casa Spike Detector. You can learn more about the Casa Spike Detector, and you can learn more on why I made this export advisor in this post. I also made another video about how the best way to practice in a demo account. You should also watch it. Okay, so I also talked about the folder structure. When you download it, will have 3 folders inside. So I've showed you how to install the indicator, the include file, and the export advisor, and how to configure it. So now let me explain again on the inputs. So let me just go back again, and I'm simply going to click on export list and properties. Okay, so I said that this export advisor really works well in accounts having a lot of money, but it can also work with accounts having less money, but the profits of course will be few and you risk blowing your account. So let's say you have deposited an amount less than $50. Use the lot size of 0.20. okay, the risk amount, keep it to maybe $20 or so. Then the risk percentage, how much you're willing to risk per trade. Okay, so this depends with you. If you're willing to risk 50% per trade, simply write 50%. But if you write 50%, it means that per trade you will, when you lose like 50% of that, that's when it closes. So with only about 2 or 3 trades, you end up losing your account. So simply enter in the lowest possible 2 or 1%. The minimum profit, simply put 1, because you're going to be using the lowest lot size and with an account having like $50 or $20. So once you're done with that, click OK. So yeah, so try out this export advisor with these default inputs I've told you about. Okay, so then this export advisor is going to stop working in 8 days after you download. So let me know how it goes for you. So how should you let me know? Okay, you can contact me on Telegram or on my email. All these details will be in the description. So when contacting me, make sure that you tell me what lot size you are using, you tell me how much you are risking, and tell me how much profit you are taking. And now the most important part, when to use these export advisors. So when it comes to forex, there are times of which you're supposed to trade and not supposed to trade anyhow. This also applies to this export advisor. So in this video somewhere, okay, so in this video over here, I talked about the best time to catch spikes and on boom and crash indices. So what is the best time to catch spikes? So in this video, according to this video, the best time to catch spikes is in the morning. And the good part is that also this export advisor does the job better in the morning. So try this export advisor from 07 in the morning to about lunchtime. Okay, this is GMT +2. Okay, so try this advisor in the morning to 12. You are going to see that the results are going to be good. But they can also trade at any time, but during other time there's usually unnecessary spikes, so I don't usually recommend that, but you can try it. But for optimum or good results, try it at this time. And one last thing I forgot to mention, this export advisor only trades the following indices, and one is Boom 1000 and Boom 500. Okay, and the other one it trades is Crash 1000 and Crash 500. So it only trades these 4 indices. So open up. Okay, so now let's now complete with the installation. So simply click on OK. So we have only added the indicator and the export advisor to one chart. So now let's now continue adding to all these charts. Okay, simply click on the indicators, click and hold on the indicator and drag it to the other chart and simply click OK. So we have added the indicator here. It's time to add the expert advisor also there. Click and hold and add it here. So even here you have to configure the all inputs. So right in, remember to tick this box over here and click OK. Let's now add to these other indices here. Click and hold and drag it and click OK. Then now let's add the expert advisor. Click and hold and paste it, and remember to configure this according to what amount you have. And now the last one, click and hold, paste it there, and also add the expert advisor there. Okay, then simply click here and click there, and the algo trading will be enabled. So as you can see, it has placed a trade of boom 1000, which is a sale. So this is boom 1000 over here. Okay, so once it makes about, I don't know, $2 or 5, it will close the trade. Yeah, so this is how it works. Okay, so this is it about today's video. So I'm going to continue making more videos about this, so make sure that you subscribe to this channel. If you have questions, feel free to comment. If you have anything else you need, simply contact me. I'll help with that. Bye for now. See you in the next video.